get ready to start my flight. Flight checklist. Click on buttons, knobs, levers, and switches. Flying these planes is my everyday riches. A PMG 3737, ready for another flight. When things get rough, baby, hold on tight. If you wanna catch the flight, come to Lounging with John. Right here on TikTok, in the lounge where we never go wrong. PMD 3737, ready for another flight. When things get rough, baby, hold on tight. Come and fly with me. I got the best AI, even if I just can't see.
Alright, you guys, welcome. We're about to do the flight over we was trying to do last night. Had a couple things going on last night. Number one, I was tired. Number two, there was some pretty yucky weather. And just everything, it didn't work out. So, we're going to redo it. And we'll close that. And bear with me, I will be looking at the chat here in a minute, and I'm going to go over something with you guys real quick because it's really important that everybody knows this. Let me get what... Alright, let's load our say intentions. We'll do that first. We'll hit new flight on that, let that do what it's doing there. And then we're going to load a pilot's life. You better remember my info because that was a pain in the butt last night. Major pain in the butt last night. When I had to go and redo all that stuff, I'm like, man, I don't know why I get this web browser thing, but I do. So I'm going to go ahead and hit flight. I remember it's 34,000. So that's good. We got that started. Let's go ahead and I'm basically getting everything open that I gotta have here, and then I'm gonna talk to you guys. So give me 1 second. Audio should be good. Okay, we'll hit connect. We'll get that going too. Alright, so let me go to
starting pre-flight flow.
GoStar International looking to pick up a cargo job to my
Good afternoon,
destination.
Captain.
Let me see what we have. Give me a minute or two.
Alright, so I got that going.
Gold Star Niner Delta Whiskey, SkyOps. All right, we got a new cargo mission for you. Your mission is to transport classified documents for a government agency. The cargo weighs approximately 2,000 pounds. Ensure secure handling and delivery. The destination is John Glenn Columbus Airport, IKO KCMH. We're sending your crew over now. You can expect to be airborne in a few minutes.
Goatstar International, that is the incorrect destination. My destination is Kilo Mary Sam Yankee.
Destination confirmed as KMSY.
Yes.
Roger that. Destination KMSY confirmed.
Is that where this cargo is going to be taken? Going to have to be.
Yes, the cargo is going to KMSY.
Evening, Captain. We are just getting the last of the cargo loaded. I'll let you know when we are secure and ready.
Confirmed. Thank you. Alright, so
Confirmed. You're set for KMSY.
okay. You can go ahead and get our IFR.
I'll get our IFR clearance now.
Captain, we are secure and good to go.
Alright. I need.
Advice on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. Advise on
This file continues to open, this climb.sav, and I don't. Come on. This does this every time I open Notepad. It opens this file that I don't need. Oh my gosh.
The computer is programmed except for the SIDS and stars. Heading out for my checks.
Alright. I gotta do this. And the screen reader is going to be stupid today. Out of all times. I don't get it. There we go. It's this stupid file that's giving me problems. This is really ridiculous. It's a notepad file, and it's all right. You know what? We're just going to take off like this because I don't know what it is, and if I try to open that notepad file, it's going to GSI, is runway 20 available for our destination for ILS?
Gold.
Correction, runway 29 for ILS approach for destination.
Gold Star International Niner Delta Whiskey, runway 29er for ILS approach confirmed for your destination.
Perfect. Okay, there we go. Now let's hurry up and do our plan page here, first officer. And we're doing ILS runway 29. There. Now, all right, now guys, let me talk to you guys a minute while we're waiting. Okay. All right, so on the
Aircraft looks good.
on the TikTok side, in the beginning of my flight, I don't see the TikTok chat. I have to literally tab back over and see what you guys say, which is not a problem. But in the beginning, I'm really more focused on getting my flight set up. It's not that I'm ignoring you or that I don't want to see what you got to say, because I do. But I'm just asking to understand that in the beginning, if I'm not answering you right off, that's why. But if you know, be patient with me, I will be back on the window to read what you said. So I just wanted to make sure you guys understood that, okay? I stream on TikTok. I'm on 3 different platforms right now. I'm on Lounging with John on TikTok, Lounging with John on YouTube, and BVI Pilots on YouTube. The fortunate part for YouTube is I can use the Restream chat and it reads it back to me via audio. For some reason, even though it lets me set it up that way with YouTube, it does not support that for TikTok. And I don't know why. I wish it did. I mean, I have a TikTok chat client, but it closes on me. So I need to try to work on it, see if I can fix that. But it is what it is. We're going to go up and see if Andy wants to meet on the server. Tell Andy, hey, I'm about to go up on the server if you want to come up there. I'm doing that flight with my pilot's life from last night, doing that over.
Sending to Andy.
Send. Alright, so I messaged him. Guys, this is the one thing where you could take advantage of having, you know, being a subscriber here on TikTok. Is if you were a subscriber, you could be up here on this up on the server with us. So just, you know, remember that. Be a subscriber, then that's the other thing you'll get. Jose, welcome to the lounge, my friend.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen. Tested. Navigation, transfer, and display switches. Normal and auto.
Let's.
Window heat. On. Pressurization mode selector. Auto. Flight instruments. On. Fuel control switches. Cut off.
Okay, we got that done. Doing our N1 limits page, you got that done. Verifying our speeds here. E2 148. Let's go ahead and set our trim. And that's set. Alright, so that's done. Right soft 5, left soft 3, left soft 4. All that just got me to close the doors. We're ready.
Initiating.
Before start flow. I'm surprised that we've got nobody talking on the lounge or BVI Pilots today. Did you request our IFR clearance?
Flow completed. Before start checklist. Flight deck
I'll
door.
get our IFR clearance
Closed
net.
and locked. Fuel 1922 pounds. Checked. Passenger signs. On. MCP.
Cincinnati clearance.
Speed.
Gold Star Niner Delta
148.
Whiskey.
Heading.
Requesting to pick up our
186.
IFR clearance.
Altitude 34000.
Clearance on request. Standby.
Set. Takeoff speeds. B1 148. BR 152. B2 158. Checked. CDU pre-flight. Completed. Rudder
Gold
in
Star
aileron
International
trim.
Niner Delta Whiskey.
Free
Clear
and
to New
zero.
Orleans via the Chuckle 6
Anti-collision
Ben
lights.
is filed. Climb
On.
and maintain 5,000.
Before start
Flight
checklist
level
complete.
34010 minutes after departure. Departure on 119.7 squawk 4376. Expect runway 18 left.
GSI requesting pushback with startup.
Gold Star International Niner Delta Whiskey. You are on the clearance frequency. Please contact ground on 121.7 for pushback and startup instructions.
Gold Star International requesting pushback with startup.
Gold Star International Niner Delta Whiskey, pushback and startup approved. Tail west.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Beacons on. Brakes released. Clear to push straight back.
Copy that. Clear to push straight back. Release the parking brakes, please.
Alright, let's get to park and brake.
Brakes released.
There we go.
Starting engines. Starting engine 2.
Giving comms to you.
All right, I'll handle the comms from here.
If you can wait until after we've done our pushback, you can go ahead and request taxi, but wait till we got engines on.
Alright, push complete. Go ahead and set the brakes.
All right, I'll wait until after pushback and engines start to request taxi.
Engine 2 started.
Okay, brakes set. Clear to disconnect, and thanks for the good push. We'll see ya.
Engine 2 cut out.
Yeah, you got it. No problem. We're disconnecting the tow bar now. Stand by, guys. Okay, the tow bar is disconnected. We're disconnecting the interphone now. Pin will be on the right side. We'll see you guys. Take care.
Starting engine 1. Engine 1 started. Engine 1 cut out. All engines stable. Before taxi flow. Clear on the right. Clear on the left. Flow completed. Before taxi checklist. Generators. On. Progi. Auto. Isolation valve. Auto. Engine start switches. Continuous. Recall. Checked. Auto brakes. Rejected takeoff.
Attention all
Flight
aircraft,
control
information
test.
Kilo is now current, altimeter 2941.
All right.
Full left.
Go to the left, back to center.
Neutral.
Go to the right,
Full right.
back to center.
Neutral.
Straight back,
Full back.
back to center. And forward,
Full forward.
back
Check.
to center.
Brake test. Checked. Before taxi checklist completed.
All right, good deal. Let's see. You can go ahead and request taxi now.
All right, I'll request taxi now.
Cincinnati ground, Gold Star Niner Delta Whiskey.
I'll
Ready
be
to taxi.
checking
We have
chat here
information
in
Kilo.
just a few minutes, guys. Let me get up in the air and then I'll be looking at the chat.
Gold Star International Niner Delta Whiskey. Taxi to runway 18 left via Mike Sierra. Contact tower on 133.325 when ready for departure.
Runway 18 left via Mike Sierra. Contacting tower on 133.325 when ready for departure. Gold Star Niner Delta Whiskey.
Okay.
Approaching runway 18 Before takeoff.
left.
Gold Star International Niner Delta Whiskey.
Flow
Contact tower
completed.
on
Before takeoff
133.325.
checklist.
Have a
Flaps.
good evening.
Sit. Stabilization trim.
Switching to tower on
Sit.
133.325. Gold
Sit.
Star Niner Delta
Cabin
Whiskey.
crew. Cabin crew prepare for takeoff.
Boy, that wind is still
Notified.
not good here today.
Before takeoff checklist completed.
21 knots. We're clear
Roger,
for
Lil
takeoff.
Racist Bunny. Why are you still playing this boring game?
Number one, it's not
All right,
a game,
contacting
and
tower for takeoff clearance.
you don't like it, don't watch it. That simple, my friend.
Cincinnati Tower, Gold Star Niner Delta Whiskey, holding short of runway 18 left. We're ready for departure.
Gold Star Niner Delta Whiskey, Cincinnati Tower, runway 18 left. Winds 245 at 14, gusting 34. RNAV lasting, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 18 left, RNAV lasting, cleared for takeoff. Gold Star Niner Delta Whiskey.
That's simple, my friend. Alright, here we go, guys. Especially for someone to call it a game. They definitely do not understand the difference.
Cross that. Checked. Speed alive. Checked.
80 knots.
80 knots. Checked.
Rotate.
B1. Rotate. Positive rate.
Alex Cruz the Tard. Boring ass game.
Yep, well, you don't gotta watch.
Lateral navigation. LNAV on. Vertical navigation. VNAV on. Autopilot. Command A on.
Sounds like a personal problem to me. Oh, idiots.
Gold Star International
Unfortunately.
Niner Delta Whiskey, contact departure on 119.7.
Acceleration altitude.
Switching to departure on 119.7. Gold Star Niner Delta Whiskey. Cincinnati departure, Gold Star Niner Delta Whiskey, evening climbing past 2000.
Gold Star Niner Delta Whiskey, Cincinnati departure, radar contact. Cleared direct lasting. Climb and maintain flight level 200.
Cleared direct lasting.
Hey, but I like
Flight level
the,
200. Gold Star Niner Delta Whiskey.
sorry guys, I was talking to some trolls on YouTube, but I like the trolls. They give us more views, right? So let them keep on coming. Keep on it coming. Because we're still flying, and just for their own little education, it's not a game, it's a flight simulator. There is a big difference. But, you know, small minds wouldn't understand that, so I'm not even going to try to explain it. Alright, we are up, and away. VNAV's activated, auto throttle is good, autopilot is good, LNAV is good, climb is good. Go ahead and bring your flaps in.
Gear up.
And bring our gear up.
Gear up. Speed check. Speed check.
There we go, gear is up.
Speed check.
Flaps are up.
Speed check.
Gold Star International International 9er, Delta Whiskey, climb and maintain flight level 230.
All right, we are looking good here.
Climb and maintain flight level 230.
Guys,
Gold Star
literally
9er Delta Whiskey.
on YouTube, the person that was making installs, their name was Alex the Tard. So I guess the name explains that, don't it? All right. All right, let's take a look at the monitor now. I'm here looking at the chat from
Full
TikTok.
completed. After takeoff checklist. Engine start switches. Off. Packs. On. Auto brakes.
Hope you guys are doing okay here on the TikTok side. Appreciate
Open
you
up.
guys. Be sure to
Flaps.
hit that like button, share it with your
After takeoff
friends. Let us
checklist
continue to get more followers. And as I've always said, if you follow us, we'll follow you. I usually check it once or twice a day. So if you followed us and you're not seeing us follow you yet, we will. So tell Lois Hughes, hey, we're on TikTok. And
Center
YouTube.
pumps coming off.
Sending to Lois.
Send. Tell Mom, hey, we're on TikTok and YouTube if you want to watch.
Sending to Mom.
Send. Alright.
Passcode field. 069 center.
So, we are using a different program now for the flights that we're doing, the jobs that we're flying for, which is through a program called A Pilot's Life 2. And basically well, I knocked something off. It wasn't nothing like spilled or nothing. You basically set up, you pick a company to work for, and then once they hire you on, you then start setting up your schedules. You're going to see the first probably 3 or 4 flights. We're going to be going back and forth between
Gold Star International 9er,
where we
Delta
just
Whiskey,
left from
climb
and
and
where we're
maintain
going.
flight level 280.
There's a couple of them jobs going
Climb
back
and
and
maintain
forth,
flight level
unfortunately.
280. Gold
So-
Star 9er Delta Whiskey.
We'll see how it goes. Anything good you're going to be telling us about today?
Today we're flying over the Ohio River, which is a significant waterway in the United States. It stretches over 981 miles and serves as a natural border between several states. The river has been a crucial route for trade and transportation since the early days of American history. It's also known for its role in the Underground Railroad, providing a path to freedom for many escaping slavery. From up here you can appreciate its vastness and the lush landscapes that surround it.
Wow. What river does the Ohio River dump off into going south? I like the tour guide.
The Ohio River flows into the Mississippi River, which is one of the major rivers in the United States, known for its historical significance and role in commerce and transportation.
Now, the Mississippi River also played a big part back with slavery and all that too, correct?
Yes, the Mississippi River was a critical route for the Underground Railroad, providing a natural barrier and pathway for those escaping slavery. It also served as a major transportation route during the Civil War, making it strategically important for both the Union and Confederate forces.
Tell us more about the Union and Confederate forces.
During the American Civil War, the Union and Confederate forces were the two opposing sides. The Union, also known as the North, was led by President Abraham Lincoln and fought to preserve the United States and end slavery. The Confederate forces, representing the southern states that seceded, were led by President Jefferson Davis and fought to maintain their independence and uphold their way of life, which included slavery. The Mississippi River was a strategic asset for both sides, as control over it meant dominance in transportation and supply routes.
Gold Star International 9er Delta Whiskey, climb and maintain flight level 320.
Climb and maintain flight level 320. Gold Star 9er Delta Whiskey.
If you want, go ahead and request our cruise altitude.
We're already cleared to climb and maintain flight level 320, which is our cruise altitude for this flight.
Our cruise altitude is 340, not 320.
Roger that, John. I'll confirm with ATC.
Cincinnati departure. Gold Star 9er Delta Whiskey. Requesting confirmation for cruise altitude flight level 340.
Gold Star International 9er Delta Whiskey, climb and maintain flight level 340.
Climb and maintain flight level 340. Gold Star 9er Delta Whiskey.
See, I told you so.
You were right, John. We're cleared to FL 340.
Can I get an apology?
Sorry about that, John. Let's keep things smooth from here on out.
Oh, it'll be smooth as long as you follow what I tell you.
Transition altitude.
Absolutely, John. Let's keep it smooth and steady.
Gold Star International 9er Delta Whiskey, contact Indianapolis Center on 124.775.
I wonder what that's for. There is a checkbox that says
Gold Star 9er Delta Whiskey.
ground loop effect, which is checked, but I don't know what that does.
Indianapolis Center, Gold Star 9er Delta Whiskey, evening, climbing through flight level 200 to reach flight level 340.
Gold Star 9er Delta Whiskey, Indianapolis Center, good evening.
Now they don't have
At our 2 o'clock, about 27 kilometres away, we have the Kentucky Kingdom. This amusement park is a favourite spot for thrill seekers and families alike. Originally opened in 1987, it has undergone several transformations and ownership changes over the years. It's known for its roller coasters and water attractions, including the famous Storm Chaser coaster, which is a steel roller coaster that replaced the old Twisted Twins wooden coaster. The park also features a water park called Hurricane Bay, which is perfect for cooling off in the summer heat. From up here you might catch a glimpse of the vibrant rides and sprawling park layout of the colourful patch in the urban landscape of Louisville.
Now the other bug is I opened up this help page, and when I did that, it made the say intentions come unavailable. So yeah, and it's not letting me close it neither. So what I'm going to have to do is go here. Alright, so I killed it. And we'll just reopen it. It'll pick up where we left off. Kind of interesting though why it did that. And you can also use Active Sky for weather on say intentions if you choose to. I don't, but I don't know what that experimental speech recognition does. I don't know what that's for. Alright, so let me go back here real quick.
Good afternoon there, New Zealand 462 Heavy, passing flight level 240, descending 4,000 feet. Up to 5.625 for KLM 1975, bye-bye.
Welfare 049.
I'm going to show you guys the Mentor. This is pretty cool too. Let's do Uncle Harley.
FedEx 108
Comms
Heavy,
to you.
Winnipeg Center, contact Minneapolis Center on 127.6.
I've got the comms, John.
Ryanair 53 Bravo X-ray, contact London Control on 121.23.
How are you doing today, Uncle Harley?
Hey, John. I'm doing just fine. Thanks for asking.
Good evening.
Just enjoying the view up here. By the way, did you know that when you're flying at high altitudes like this, it's crucial to monitor your oxygen levels? It helps keep you sharp and focused. Let me know if you have any questions about the flight.
Bravo
Need any
London
tips?
Control identified. Good afternoon.
Well, it says my oxygen level is 67%. I never see it higher than that.
Hey, John. 67% oxygen level is a bit on the low side, especially at high altitudes like this. Ideally, you want it to be above 90% to ensure you're getting enough oxygen. You might want to check the aircraft's oxygen system for any leaks or issues. If you're feeling any symptoms like dizziness or shortness of breath, it's crucial to descend to a lower altitude where the oxygen
Yo, what's up,
level
Andy?
is higher. Always good to keep a pulse oximeter handy to monitor your levels. Stay
Hey.
sharp up there.
So this mentor was just telling me about, I'm doing my flight over from last night, but he was telling me about my oxygen level seems to be low because it says, TFM says it's 67%, but I can never get that to go up. I don't know how you raise it.
You don't.
Okay, so I wonder, maybe it's not reading it 100% correctly, maybe?
Well, no, so what the deal is, okay, you're on a live stream.
Yeah, yep.
So I'm explaining this to a bunch of people, okay. So, in the SDK for this airplane, you have an oxygen meter.
067, please expedite your descent to flight
And
level
instead
340.
of reading pounds per square inch or pounds per cubic inch, like you would normally measure an O2 tank, okay, it measures it in terms of numbers. And so the scale goes from 0 to 240. So instead of saying, well, your oxygen level is at 190,
Right.
understand what that
Right now,
means,
120.625.
and it makes no relevance. Because what is 190? 190 pounds per square inch? Well, hell yeah, you're going to be low.
Vancouver Center, Air Canada.
Oh, okay.
561. Please advise
So,
runway, landing
what
runway
we
at
did
Smithers.
is we took that number and available maximum. So if you're at 67% of 240, I don't remember what the number is, but that's basically what that is. It's
Okay.
saying your oxygen level is not 67%.
Right.
Oxygen level is 67% of the maximum amount allowed for that particular meter.
Gotcha. So I just got done over on, cause I streamed through TikTok, through the lounge on TikTok, and then I streamed through the lounge on YouTube, and then I streamed through BVI Pilots. Well, the lounge, for some reason, it's always been that way there, but you always get those what they call trolls that want to just say dumb stuff, right? So
oh yeah,
this guy comes on, I mean, let alone his name was Alex Tard, T-A-R-D, okay? That was his name, so that explains it all anyway, but he's like, I don't know why you play this game so much, and I says, well, number one, shame on you for calling it a game, because it's not a game. It is much different than a game, and it seems like anyone that doesn't understand flight simming, that's what they think. Oh, it's a game. But you're not educated from the games that you can go out and buy. But when you go into a simulator, you're educated. You get educated. You learn. You learn stuff that you're not going to learn, like playing a fighter game on the Xbox.
Gold Star International Niner, Delta Whiskey, contact Memphis Center on 132.9er.
So yeah, I'm trying to do this job over. We had a good takeoff and everything.
Switching
I think
to Memphis Center on 132.9, Gold
Last
Star
night-
9 Delta Whiskey.
Yeah, what happened last night?
horrible weather. Like the rain and wind was just. And I think, like I said,
Memphis Center, Gold Star Niner Delta
No, I
Whiskey,
thought it was
evening,
pilots
climbing through
then.
flight level
You said
320 to reach
pissed
flight
off
level
at pilots.
340.
no, it was.
Like, well, we'll just do
Gold
this
Star 9
job
Delta Whiskey,
over
Memphis
again.
Center, good evening.
Yeah, so I must have got it
No,
wrong or
yeah, it was saying tension. So pushback does work, but sometimes it's very. It can be buggy, and what happens is when you tell it to disconnect it, and it says, "Okay, we're disconnected." Well, it's
Yeah.
not. The airplane still thinks that the tug is still
It
connected.
still thinks the tug is hooked up even though it's not.
So that's why last night I took off and I thought, okay, we're good. Next thing I know, it's pulling me back down to the ground. You're not going to be 10,000 feet with a tug hanging from the front of your aircraft, but so I was just like, you know what? Between that and the rain and all that, I'm like, I'm done. I'll just do it tomorrow. No, a pilot's life. I had to go back and reset my username and my password, and you know the process for that. It is a pain in the butt because
yeah.
I don't know if you've done it, but it's got to send you. You got to put in the order number and serial number, and then
You have to put in your order number, your username or email,
Yep.
then your serial number,
and then it
and then it
email
will send
you. Yep.
And then it will send you a new temporary password. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess technically I can log in and change it, but I was just like, dude, I got
You
my
can.
password. I'm just gonna leave it what it is for now.
Yeah.
And then like my chair, dude, I got to get a new chair. That drives me nuts. I'll be sitting here, and next thing I know, I go from being yoke level to being way down below the yoke because my chair goes down. You know, it's one of them office chairs you can raise and lower.
Yeah,
So,
I got one.
Yeah, I don't know why it's like that. Like I tried to see if the handle was loose, but it's not. Everything's tight, so I don't know. There must be a bad seal in the, because that's all it is. It's just air, and it's got
It's just an air pump.
and it's got
That's all.
like a rubber seal at the top, but I don't know. I want to get me a different one anyways. I want one that's a little more this is just there's no arms on the sides of it or nothing like that. I want to get one like a bigger one, you know what I mean?
Okay, so I have a California Red Racer.
Pretty nice chair, I guess. I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's a California Red Racer manager's chair.
So I'm guessing that one probably got the armrest and
It's got the armrest, it's a wing back on top of it, it's got the wheels, it's got nice cushy back and bottom so you can sit on it and not feel like you're sitting on a concrete block.
I need to get also, because my desk is in my room, I need to get one of your mats that you put down. You know,
yeah.
that way you can move
Like a
your
roller mat, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's not going to hurt without it, but what does that chair run you that you got?
I paid 50% off and it was 130. So I'd say probably around 250 regular.
Yeah, I'm guessing Well, yeah, I guess you ordered it, so they ship it to you. What do you mean by the wing back? You talking about like at the top where the headrest is? It's got like a...
Yep. Yeah, it's got like that slanted or tapered edge.
Yeah, it kind of sticks backwards, like points to the back. Yep. Yeah.
Yep. No, I bought it off of Instacart.
I'll tell you, I thought about getting I thought about getting a flight sim chair. They got some that you can literally set it up. That's got the brackets for your mounts. It's got the bracket for, like, for example, the TV. You would mount the TV to the bracket. Like, they got some nice ones out there. I thought about it, but
right.
There's one that I seen, and it was actually a simulator. It was labeled a simulator, but it was like a simulator chair, basically. And it actually moved, but I'm like, I don't want that. I'm not worried about the moving part. Now, it'd be cool to have the, like Declan's got, I can't think what it's called, but there's a speaker you can get that goes under your chair. Connects to your chair, or goes under it. And you get the whole vibration, like, you know, like the airplanes, like, running and it.
No.
But
yeah.
My thing at this point is just a comfortable chair, though. That's my thing. If I got
I could care less about the vibrating.
Yeah, if I've got a chair and my thing is just comfortability. So that and sound, audio's big to me. Like, that's why I like flying in the triple right now. I like flying it. I wish it sounded better, though. It's just not up to par with me, and I don't know what your opinion is on it, but to me, they could have done a lot better with the sound. I mean, it don't.
I don't know. I mean,
Brandon says.
At a point, I can't.
I mean, Brandon said that it sounds like a vacuum, and I said that too, but only at one part of it does it have that sound. It's only one very short part where I heard it sound like it really shouldn't sound at all, but like the way it sounds when it slows down and all that, it sounds good. But it's the overall. If I had to rate it on a scale 1 to 10, I'd probably give it like a 7.
I'd say that's fair. I mean,
you know,
for me after a point, I can't really tell the difference in sound after a point.
Yeah,
so,
that's me too. Like
after you get to a certain kind of quality, and then you start mixing sounds together and all that kind of stuff and everything, then after a point I can't really tell anything.
Now I don't know if do you have the new sound pack for the 737?
Yeah.
Now that sound pack, when I first used it, I picked that up right off. How good it was! I'm like, holy cow! Like right now, I can hear the engines in the background. You know, you go back to the standard one, you hear more air than you do engine, but in this one, you hear the air and you hear the engines. Well, you hear the hum, more of just the humming noise, but yeah, we did that one night. I wish I'd have recorded that, because we did some really educational stuff going through that other stuff, like.
Yeah.
I didn't know all that. I never knew all that. And the other thing is too, even in the 737, if we had the ability, there's a lot of things that you can do that we just can't do. Like with, like, you know, even in the CDU and the FMC, you do things a certain way, you get extra stuff that pop up. Because I seen a guy on a video, a real pilot, and I'm like, wait a minute, how do you do that? But again, he's able to click you know, touch the screen and all that, and like, I don't know how many screens actually the 737 has in it, like in front of you. I don't know if it's one solid screen or if it's broke down. Like, I think the CDU is in the middle, isn't it? Isn't the CDU in the middle?
Yeah, well, there's two of them, okay? So you have one and your first officer has one. So they're sitting down by the, if I am gathering, they're sitting down by your throttle.
Hey, I wonder if I could use the version of TFM where you had that, where that worked, where you could activate the other CDU, remember?
Yeah, if you have it, it might work.
Well, I didn't know if that one was buggy or not, like.
I think to a certain extent they all are.
I did like the one where you could pull up settings by just putting in, like, you didn't have to arrow through all of them. You could literally look it up and then bam, right there it is. But I don't remember what version that was. Do you?
2024.2.
Was there a reason why we wasn't using it? Is there something that would... Is there something that says, hey, don't use it because of this reason? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bug-wise.
There's nothing stopping you from using it. I mean, you can use it all day long if you wanted to.
Yeah, but I mean, did we not... Well, I'm just wondering, like, when you put the free version up on TFM, like, is there a reason why you didn't put that newer one that you had did? I guess because this is more stable, right? This version is probably the stablest.
Well, the reason we put that old version up there is because it had the most support built in for this 37.
And it was the actual version that was released that was actually when you said that it was done, I think.
Yeah.
Right. It makes sense. I mean, I'm not saying like this version is no good, because it does work good. I don't have any problems with it.
Likely. So, like in 2024.1.105, I believe it was. It's not likely that you're going to be able to use the 77 because
of
well, then it's because the SDK is different.
Yeah, well, I know I used this version for the 7.4 when I did the flight, and I was very, very, very limited, which I already knew that. Very limited on what you could do, and really, if I wanted to change speed or altitude, you're not doing it with TFM. You'd have to do it with first officer. No, first officer ain't bad. I joke around, but I would fly the 7.4 even if I had a little bit more control. But I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, I would like to be flying it right now, but I'll just fly what I can fly and what I can control, you know. 35 minutes.
I do have to whine and complain about something.
You got to what?
But I think I have to whine and complain about something.
Oh, okay.
But I believe it's something I can whine and complain about on the stream, because it has nothing to do with what we're doing at TFM.
Right, okay. Go for it.
It has to do with... So, it kind of has something to do with TFM, but it doesn't.
Right.
It has more to do with first officer, though.
Oh, I can definitely come up with some stuff on that.
So, I was working today on TFM, and I was looking through the SDK because we're, working on a multi-faceted panel, put it that way. And looking through the SDK, okay, that the 77 gives up.
That what now?
I was looking at the 77's SDK that PMDG gives us.
Okay.
Now, First Officer has this thing and the flows and it has this thing where you can print all of the flows and checklist options into a text file, so you don't have to choose an option, you don't have to choose an item to see what values are available. It just dumps everything he knows into a text file, and you can look at it through whatever way you want to look at it. So I was looking at it, and you realize that when First Officer does his flows, he's missing a whole huge ton of things.
Really? Like what? Like
he doesn't actually do all of. So for an example, in the pre-flight flow.
So even right down to the pre-flight. Wow.
Yep. So like when you get to the part in the flows where you set your packs and all that kind of, your circulation vents and all that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
There's some things that he's forgetting.
So basically he's skipping stuff.
Yeah, he's only doing what absolute minimum necessary to get the airplane off.
Gold Star International 9 Delta Whiskey, contact Memphis Center on 120.8.
Contacting Memphis Center on 120.8. Gold Star 9 Delta Whiskey.
I can count 3 things that he's missing right now.
In which panel?
The air conditioner, where the packs are.
Memphis Center, Gold Star 9 Delta Whiskey, evening maintaining flight level 340.
Wow. Yeah, because if I go down here...
Gold Star 9 Delta Whiskey, Memphis Center, good evening.
So like for an example, he's not setting your alternate vent.
Hold on, he's not setting what?
There's a thing in the 77, it's called alternate venting. And it's a switch, it's a toggle button. And he's not including that. He also doesn't set your temperatures. He also doesn't set your airflow. And there is no option to even tell him to set those.
So he's not even setting where, like, yeah, because you should be able to adjust, like, for temperature.
Yep.
There should be
They have a flight deck and...
There should be
So
a knob that you turn for your adjustment for temperature.
Well, there's 2 of them. There's a flight deck temperature knob and there's a cabin temperature knob. And he leaves them smack in the middle. He doesn't readjust them according
Here's
to
the other thing.
Outside.
Is the probe heat. I thought probe heat was more toward your GA airplanes, like your 730, not 730, like your Cessnas, your Bonanzas. I thought probe heat was that's what they use.
No, probe heat is no. If you go,
I'm thinking of
to
something
your
else,
panels-
probably. Yeah, I see it right
no, if
here.
go
You
to
got
your- yeah, we have it in there.
probe heat 1 and
He
probe heat
doesn't-
2.
Yeah, he doesn't set your probe heats.
Yeah, it just says that it's on, but I don't know if that means it's on or not.
It is.
Oh, because TFM sets it. I'm guessing.
Yeah, they're set to on by default.
So I guess that's what controls the temperature for your fuel, right? That keeps your fuel from freezing up.
The probe heat, no. The probe heat keeps your airspeed indicator valves from freezing up.
Oh, okay. Well, I know like my engine anti-ice is on, wing anti-ice is off. Now, from what I was told, you want your anti-ice on your wings to be on if you're colder than minus 35.
This is true.
Okay, so like right now it should be on because we're minus 40.
Yes.
But first officer turns it off for some reason.
He doesn't.
He turns it on during testing, but then he turns it right back off.
Yep.
Then you got, your left side indicators. That's just to tell you, I guess, if it's overheating.
Yeah.
The other thing I was always curious about, I can't remember where it's at in here, but basically you can set where the air is coming from. And there's like 5 or 6 different settings you can put it on. Like there's it's where you can adjust the airflow.
I don't think that TFM has that.
I think it does. Hold on. Let me see.
Go into the air systems panel and that will tell you. It's under the center overhead.
Yeah, here it is. Air source. So this one that it's on says scant. I think it's what that's saying.
Yeah.
I always wonder what all them were. Could you have scant,
Gold Star 9
SFWD?
Delta Whiskey, Memphis Center. Expect the Trash 1 arrival. I'll call your descent in roughly 20 minutes.
But my question, does it matter where you got it coming
Expecting
from?
the Trash 1 arrival. Awaiting descent instructions in about
Typically,
20
it would
minutes.
matter, yeah.
Gold Star 9er Delta Whiskey.
There's SAFT, CFWD, CAFT, PCKL. Maybe that's passenger.
No, it's pack left and pack right.
Why would you want your air to be on your pack left or right? Like, I guess I don't understand why there's so many.
Because they're backup sources.
Oh. So if your air doesn't work, you can go and turn on that source and you'll get air from a different location.
Yep.
Well, it's good to know that it don't matter where you put it, it ain't gonna... Like SFWD, that's probably the first officer area, I'm guessing.
I believe so. Secondary forward, primary forward.
Yeah.
Secondary and
Now, at least
yeah,
TFM
secondary
at
and
least
primary
has pressurization mode. Well, I think there's auto and then... I don't know what that one... Alternative, maybe? Auto...
Alt?
Yeah, alt. Manual. But I put it back on auto. I don't know what alt does, but you know, my luck, it frees something up on me, probably.
Alternate, it uses an alternate pressurization source.
Gotcha. All right, guys, I think we're getting close. Yeah, we got Ghost Star International. We got about 23 minutes until descent. Now I got to go over here and hit
Gold Star International, Niner Delta Whiskey, roger. Continue as planned. Expect descent in approximately 20 minutes.
I really wish that on the update for First Officer he wouldn't have got things mixed up, because now I always got to go and hit this stupid button to find there it is, descent flow. It used to be right there, but now you have to go find it. It is what it is, I guess.
Well, like we said, he
you know,
uses a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that really should. Well, like we talked about the other day, nothing about TFM's new stuff, but there was still stuff that we had talked about that I had told you, and I'm not going to repeat it, obviously. Nothing to do with, you know, nothing like that, but I don't want to make Matt think that, oh man, he's up there just bashing the hell out of me. And we're not, but we're just saying, like, there needs to be more attention focused on
pressurization,
primary, not secondary.
Recall.
I think that's the key word.
Yeah. Sit. Landing data 142. Minimums 200.
Approach briefing. We're expecting the ILS approach for runway.
The only thing that a pilot's life
is 200 feet.
does a little bit
We'll use
off
auto brakes for. We can
is
expect to park at gate.
it always
In
wants
case
to
of go
serve the
around,
meals
we'll
right
climb per
before
ATC
descent.
instructions on the runway head.
Like, we got 20
Any
minutes
questions?
left, and they're going to start talking
No.
about doing dinner.
Completed.
You better eat quick. Did you now? When I land, what is the procedure with the pilot's life to be able to file it? Do I got to be at the gate and completely shut down? What is the?
It typically will auto submit. If you had that option set, it should auto submit once all of your shutdown sequences and all that stuff are complete.
Okay. Did you do your flight last night or no?
No, I
you're-
still have to do it. I have to find. I have to find time.
Are you doing the same airline that I'm with?
No, I'm on Aerologic.
I didn't see that one. I don't think.
No, because it didn't offer it to you.
But I got to go from. I think you're going from the same airport when you do your job, KCVG. And I'm going to.
And I'm going to OBBI.
Oh, I'm going to KMSY, and then I got to go back to KCVG, and then I got to go back to KMSY. I think I've got like 2 or 3 round trips I got to do, which is fine. Because like you said, it gives us the ability to learn these airports. You know, to know what runways are good and what runways are not. So we'll see. What is your thoughts about doing runways with localizer only?
Well, you're not going to have your descent path, so you're going to be stuck.
Unless, I guess you would have to do the descent yourself.
So you would have to manage your descent yourself. Yeah, it would manage your heading, but you would have to do your descent yourself.
Okay, yeah. Folks, we got about
500,000 years left.
Yeah, 19 minutes till descent. And once I land and do that, we'll probably end the live stream. I'm going to sit here and talk with Andy for a little while. And then we'll pick up the flight leaving back from whatever this airport is, back to northern Kentucky / well, Cincinnati is what it is. I don't know why they even say northern Kentucky, because it's Cincinnati, it's Ohio. But it's right on the line. To give you an idea, like literally, I've done many trips up there in real life, and that's the way I go. Is we would go through Carrollton, Kentucky, jump on the expressway, and when you get to the line, you actually enter into Cincinnati, Ohio, because that's what borders Kentucky. So I guess it makes sense that they say northern Kentucky /
Yeah, northern Kentucky / Cincinnati, because part of Cincinnati is actually inside of Kentucky.
Yeah, like some of that airport, I believe, is actually on the Kentucky side.
Yeah, it is.
I'm hoping for a good I'm looking at our
That's it. 88. Sorry about that if I triggered anyone's device.
You're good. So it looks like our descent path this is going to be a tricky one, because our ILS is basically okay, so our ILS waypoint is Helmets, HELMT, and it's 3000A. The next waypoint is 2000, and then the next after that is the runway. So I'm thinking I'll catch the ILS around 2800 is what I'm guessing.
Probably.
Now here's my question though, because yeah, to it. Hold on. Yep, it will be. It's that second waypoint, which is right before the runway. That's got the same heading as the ILS. So I wonder why they wouldn't list that as the ILS runway then, or as the ILS waypoint.
Okay, explain it again.
Okay, so the ILS frequency and heading. So the heading is 286. Okay?
Yep.
That's the same exact heading as the waypoint that's at 2,000 feet. So the waypoint right before the runway. Same exact heading. The 3000A, which is my ILS waypoint, or supposedly, the heading is 158. So why wouldn't they put...
Yeah, so it looks like they're turning you around so they can line you up.
Okay. I was a little confused on it, because I'm like, why don't they just make that heading 286? at 3,000. That way you're lined up before you get to. But I guess it depends the direction you're going, because, well, like right now I'm going 228. That's my heading at the moment. But oh wow, the whole list on the first waypoint page, after I get done with this first waypoint here at 217 degrees, the heading's going to be 178 all the way down the list. So that makes sense. They got to turn me back around.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. And that's the other little tip I think that I would, if there was a tip to give people that's just learning to fly in the sim, is, I'm trying to think how I'd say this. Like, learn your headings. Understand your headings and how they work. Like, understand. That way when you look at your heading and you say, okay, I'm going 228. At some point, get yourself to where you also know kind of what direction that is. For example, 228 would be kind of going south-southwest. Because 270 is west, right? Or the 260? I always get that mixed up. 260, 270, yeah. Yeah, 270.
270 is dead west, I believe.
Yeah, because dead south is, 180?
Yeah, south is 180, north is 0.
East is 90. So, yeah.
That sounds about right.
So I would say, when you're learning, learn them directions. Like, and I don't mean know the direction of 113. Like, know your main, just learn to understand the directions you're going. That way when you're looking at a flight plan, in your mind you're going to kind of have a map, and you'll kind of understand, where you're going. So like, for example, right now, like I said, we're going, well, the waypoint says 216 degrees, and we're going 228, but there's that magnetic, and that's probably why you're never going to be dead on what it says with the magnetic, I don't think.
No.
I need to look into that setting Andy was talking about. I'll go back on that here in a second, but my point is, I can look at my first waypoint or my first page, and I can kind of draw a map in my head. Okay, I'm going south and west, and then it goes to 178. That's going to put me more, well, 180 is south. So if it's 178, well, you might as well say just south.
It would be just slightly southeast.
Yeah. So, and in my mind, I understand that. And then when I get to my way, my like right here at this one that me and Andy was talking about at 2,000 feet, it goes to 286. So that, in my mind, I understand that we're going to be turning back toward northwest. So it's basically you're doing kind of like a circle, not a full circle.
Yep.
But point is, understand your headings. That way you're not completely just like, I don't know what my plane's doing. This is the heading I'm going though. You learn your headings, and it's going to make your flying a little bit easier. Or at least, I don't want to say easier. I think that's the wrong word to use. It's going to make it more understandable. And me and Andy Declan, like a lot of us, we've been flying for over 4 years. I've been flying for over 4 years myself.
Yep.
or roughly what, 4 or 5 years, something like that. And
you've been around longer than me. TFM's been around for 5 years, coming up in August. So you might have been around for 6 or 7.
maybe 6, because I met you right when I started getting into simming about a year after. So yeah, probably about 6 years. But what's sad is I'm not going to say names, but there was one individual that I was trying to help again, because he's been around flying for a long time and he still doesn't understand. Folks, you either like simming and you can do it, or you don't like it and you can't do it. Don't be one of them that you never get it but you always fly, because it'd never be fun. To me, it wouldn't be fun. I mean, that's my opinion, but if I can't fly and have fun and understand where I'm going and what I'm doing, it's like time to throw out the white flag up. And there's a lot to learn, so it's not like when you start simming you need to know all this in 6 months, because there is a lot to understand in flying.
You find stuff out every day. You've been simming for almost 6 years, and what do you think about that page that we found on FMC? So there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
6 years, and 6 years of doing it, and you learned something new the other day.
And I think that's the other thing is, kind of learn what planes you're going to fly pretty much all the time, and learn that plane as best as you can. I'm going to turn
the other thing.
My sim's a little loud. I'm going to turn it down. I turned it up because one of the people said they couldn't hear it, and then I'm like, so we're going to turn it back down a little bit. You guys should still be able to hear it. There, now I can hear myself talk a little bit. My gosh.
So, one thing that I would say is...
What?
More things.
Oh, I got a warning on TikTok. Okay, maybe I said, okay. I don't know what I said, but...
Oops.
Okay. Oh, it's probably... okay, I got it.
Oops.
Yeah, we're flying a 737, a 739. A 739 ER, extended range. No, we're good. It wasn't nothing that extreme. Just just kind of like a poke saying, hey, watch it. It's the PMDG 739 is what it is. KXA. Yeah, we're good. But yeah, like learn all them things that you can. Learn,
The other thing I would say though too is experiment and explore.
Yeah. Yep.
Because the problem that I think some of us have, me included, is that you get stuck in a rut. We do the same things over and over. We go into our FMC, we do the pose page, the route page, performance, takeoff, N1 if it's the 37. You do your legs, your weather, and bam, off you go. And there's, as we discovered, there is more to the FMC than that.
Yeah. Oh, I know why it caught that, because of that I was talking about
Gold Star International.
I know what
Niner
it was.
Delta Whiskey.
I'm not going to
Descend
repeat
via
it,
Trash
obviously,
One into New
but
Orleans.
I know what it was now. I'll
Descend
tell
via
you.
Trash 1 into New Orleans. Gold Star Niner Delta Whiskey.
Let's see. Go ahead, Andy. You're good.
Yeah, so
We got 33 miles till descent.
But there's more to that FMC than what we get fixed into the rut of doing.
Right.
Gold Star International Niner Delta Whiskey. Contact Memphis Center on
So there's
132.5.
more to it than...
Switching to Memphis Center on 132.5. Gold Star Niner Delta Whiskey.
What was it? There's more to... There's more to the takeoff page than just page 1.
Memphis Center. Gold Star Niner Delta Whiskey.
Right.
Evening maintaining flight
Right.
level 340.
I mean, there's other things in that takeoff page that you can make use of under certain conditions.
Gold Star Niner Delta Whiskey.
That
Memphis
we
Center.
don't
Good evening.
normally look into.
Yeah, I had hit. I can't remember what it was exactly, but I hit one of the hotkeys. You know how you can do like Alt I, Alt A, and I landed in something the other day, which it was blank, but I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was there.
Huh?
What was it like? No, it wasn't that. Oh, fixed info. At the top it says fix RAD/DIS.
Approaching top of descent.
But there's nothing in it. It's empty.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know what fix info. I don't know what that page is for. But I'm like, what in the world does that do?
So fix info is usually with your... So if you go into the fixes page, then these are like waypoints. I'm not exactly sure totally what fixes are for.
Well,
or
I
what
know
they're
when I
used for,
go
but-
to it, it's blank. There's nothing here. Like,
Yeah, because you don't have any defined anywhere.
oh,
So what I'm thinking possibly is if you go to the hold page, define a hold at a waypoint, then if you go to that, then it will show you more details about this stuff. That's what I'm guessing anyway.
yeah, I know that, like, so if you did, for example, there's already a plan if you got to go around and hold, right? Like, there's already a waypoint set up for everything. But if you came here to the waypoint page and did right soft 6, that would put you into a hold. But it don't have any rules to follow, does it? Like, what if you did hold, but you're not even in that location yet, but you wanted to, maybe you
So
was,
basically what you're gonna do, you go to the hold page, it gives you what waypoints in your flight plan you have left. And it gives you the holding waypoints, you know, all the waypoints that are available for holds. And so if you set a hold up there, then it's gonna bring up a page, or you can bring up a page where you can tell it what kind of hold to have, how fast to go, what direction to go, what type of pattern is it gonna be, and all that kind of stuff.
oh yeah, because it says best speed.
Yeah, so if ATC says do an oval circuit of 2 miles at a maximum of 220 knots, then that's what you would put in there.
Right.
Speed brake armed.
So guys, what I'm doing now, it told me to, well, it said drag required, so I am just putting out my spoiler for a few minutes, just till that message disappears. It's gone. I'll hit A. I'll go back and just
speed brake armed.
Arm my speed brake. There we go.
Oh, the wife got her dog today.
Did she?
Yeah, but I can't talk about it in stream. We're not allowed to.
You have to tell me about it when we get done here.
Yep.
We are dropping like
Gold Star Niner Delta Whiskey, Memphis Center. Contact Houston Center on 126.8.
Man, we were dropping
Contacting
like
Houston
fast.
Center on 126.8. Gold Star Niner Delta Whiskey.
Don't crash into the ground.
300.
Like I did once.
Minus 37.04 a minute.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're starting to slow down now, though.
Houston Center. Gold Star Niner Delta Whiskey,
So did I
evening.
ever tell
Descending
you
through
about
flight
the
level 260.
story about VATSIM in New York?
About what?
So when I first started flying, there's a really funny story about me, VATSIM in New York.
Really?
Yeah, and it was when we were flying with Tramp, because TFM wasn't suitable enough to do everything.
Oh, there's so many stories for Tramp. Them were the days.
Okay, so here's the deal, right? So I was taking off from New York. I was on VATSIM. And we were using Tramp, okay, no big deal.
Gold Star Niner Delta Whiskey, Houston Center, speed
So I'm
250
out on
knots.
the runway, and the guy says, the ATC guy says, tower, he says, okay, you can take off. So I take off. And I'm climbing, I get to about 8,000 feet, and I want to know why I have a stall warning.
Comes to you. Yeah.
So when I check my speed, I'm at
I've got the comms,
8,000
John.
feet at 120 knots. Well, I managed somehow, I don't know how I did it, but I managed to recover to a point. But my maximum speed, I couldn't get over 180 knots. Well, I get to I get to about like 22,000 feet. And
Transition
all of
altitude.
a sudden I start floating. Like I'm sitting here, I'm floating for a while, my speed goes down to 90 knots. And all of a sudden my nose goes straight up in the air and I start falling like a brick. When I
Brooke Talon,
check TFM,
how far are you into the flight?
when I check TFM, it says, well, your descent rate is 5,200.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
I check it again, it says, no, this is funny. It
It's
says
the
your descent rate
739
now
that we're flying.
Then it says your descent rate is 12,000.
And we're landing now, Rook.
Gold Star International 9er Delta Whiskey. Contact New Orleans approach on 123.85.
69,000 feet per minute.
Switching to New Orleans approach on 123.85. Gold Star 9er Delta Whiskey.
I tell the
Oh my gosh.
I said, well, I tell the pirate teacher, I said, well, I'm not exactly sure what's
New Orleans
going on. I
approach.
said,
Gold
but
Star 9er
I
Delta
think I
Whiskey.
lost
Evening.
control of my
Descending past
airplane,
15,000.
And he says, well...
Gold Star 9er Delta Whiskey, New Orleans approach.
He says,
Good
well...
evening, New Orleans, altimeter 29.85. Expect the ILS runway 29er approach into New Orleans.
I'm falling at 72,000 feet per minute.
Expecting the ILS runway 29er approach into New Orleans.
Hanging in
Gold
mid-air
Star
at
9er Delta
8,000
Whiskey.
feet. He says, whoa, dude, my data block is frozen.
Gold Star International 9er Delta Whiskey, speed 250 knots.
He says, I can't see you moving. Your data block is frozen. I said,
Gold Star International reducing speed to 250 knots.
So I'm like falling. I'm at like 4,000 feet. I said,
Gold
well, I don't
Star
know
International
what to
9er
do.
Delta
So this
Whiskey,
is what the
maintain
guy
current
says.
speed.
Carol
You are cleared for the
Hutzel.
I'm
ILS
falling
approach
at
to
now
runway 29er.
Can you hear me,
KMS
Johnny? I'm on
line.
here. Don't know if you can hear me. Let me know. Hand pink waving.
Well,
Cleared for the ILS
he
approach
says,
to
I
runway
can give
29er
you a
at KMS
field
Y.
to land
Maintaining
in. It's
current
over
speed.
by the
Gold Star
hospital.
9er
He
Delta
says,
Whiskey.
I hear you, Carol.
Unfortunately, he says, but unfortunately, he says, there's no lighting over there, and he says, you'll be on your own if you have to land. I said, you realize I'm flying in an Airbus, right? With 220 people on board. And you telling me I'm going to land in a pitch black field next to a hospital. He says, whoa, wait a minute. He says, that's right, you're in an Airbus, aren't you? I said, yeah. He says, well, I mean, you could make the best of it. I just have to call over to the hospital and tell them to watch out for a for a falling meteor.
Oh my gosh. Yep, I hear you, Carol.
I said, I'm declaring an emergency. He says, okay.
Carol Hutzel.
He says, what's your
Okay,
emergency?
I didn't know
I
for
said,
sure
I'm
if you could
falling
or
at
not. Smiling face with
102,000
smiling
feet
eyes,
per
heavy black
minute.
heart.
Whoa, holy blank, what?
Yeah.
Yikes. And so, like, he goes and he says, what can I do for you? I said, I don't think anything. And he says, I'm going to I'm going to crash. He says, would you like emergency vehicles sent to your location? I said, I don't know. I think I'm going to be dead. He says, well, hopefully your passengers will still be alive when you land. He says, I'll call the
Gold Star
emergency
International.
authorities.
Can we get a direct to helmet
Carol
at 3,000?
Okie dokie.
See if they give me a direct. I like when they give those to me.
Gold Star International 9er Delta Whiskey, descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Proceed direct to helmet.
I thought that was funny.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
That is.
Proceed direct to helmet. Gold Star 9er Delta Whiskey.
And then I get offline and I'm like, well, there's Tramp for you, I guess.
Alright guys, so I got a direct, which I like directs. I do like those. They seem to work almost every time when they give them to me. So we're going direct to helmet, which is our that is our waypoint.
It's your localizer, right?
Yeah. Now I'm going to change the 3000A to just 3000.
I don't know. See, I don't know. I like the 3000As. I'd never had issues with them.
You know, you really don't, but the reason I do that is because if I'm turned towards the if I'm turned the right direction for the heading, if I'm turning the right direction to get my ILS and get my, to get connected to the ILS and all that when I activate approach, it's not going to...
Glide slope alive.
Like, I don't know. I've just always had it where it ended up giving me a problem wanting me to stay above 3,000 because of the A, but I guess it wouldn't as long as you're connected. It's going to ignore everything and you go ahead and make your descent.
Well, see, this is my...
But like to get this approach, I probably got to be below 3,000 to catch it. So 3,000A would keep me above it.
Well,
it'd be harder to catch.
Well, because if your localizer waypoint says 3,000A, see, and if I'm coming in on a direct, just straight flat in on a direct, okay, and I'm going nice and steady, and I have my
speed check
to 3,000. I'm gonna get a message that says reset MCP altitude. If you ignore it and you're on the right course and the right angle, you're gonna catch the IL localizer. It's gonna take you down.
So there is a setting that I turned on. I gotta find it. Now I know what it is. It's whenever I'm going a speed that the airplane doesn't want me to be. Like, basically, I got my flaps out, but I was at 240 knots, which I needed to slow down because my speed's set to 200. So it'll say speed check anytime that I don't like that message because I don't need it, right? That's why it always says speed check, because I turned something on in the setting. I got to figure out what line it is to turn it off, but that's why, because with flaps out, you don't want to be going 240 knots. It's telling you, hey, slow down, check your speed. Ghost Star International, reducing speeds to 200 knots.
Gold Star International 9er Delta Whiskey. Maintain current speed.
No, see, I never
you are
had a
cleared for the
problem
ILS
with
approach to runway 29er at KMSY.
or whatever.
Maintaining current
Because I
speed.
just get
Cleared
the
for the
reset
ILS
MCP
approach to
altitude,
runway
and
29er
I
at
just sit there and
KMSY.
wait, and
Gold
once
Star
I get
9er
within
Delta
2
Whiskey.
miles, it starts to descend.
Yeah, I guess technically, as long as you can. So once I get turned, I go by heading as much as I do altitude, but if you're not facing the right direction, that approach is going to do you no good. You know, you wouldn't want to turn it on if you're facing a different direction because you're never going to catch it. Trust me, we had our I remember with the other program, FS Tramp, the tests and experiences that we've been through, you all have no idea. You have no idea the road that we've been down with learning the ins and outs to flying.
Gold Star International 9er Delta Whiskey. Contact New Orleans Tower on 119.5.
All right. Now we're turning.
Switching to New Orleans Tower on 119.5. Gold Star 9er Delta Whiskey. New Orleans Tower, Gold Star 9er Delta Whiskey. Evening. We're established on the ILS approach for runway 29er.
Now that I'm turning towards it,
Gold Star 9er Delta Whiskey. New Orleans Tower.
I'm activating my approach.
Gusting 24. Runway 29er. Cleared to land.
Runway 29er, clear to land. Gold
And
Star 9er Delta Whiskey.
LNAV is off, so with LNAV off, I'm activating Command B. That's kind of the rule of thumb that you do.
Speed check. Speed check.
We are getting there, guys. We're
Speed check. Speed check. Cabin crew, prepare for landing. Speed check. Speed check.
looking good here, guys.
Gear down. Speed check. Speed check.
And like, see, you guys see how everything's so smooth? You can tell when you get approached. Look, I connected to it so quick that TFM didn't even read me the percentage. Like, it didn't have to. It didn't have to do 99 or none of that, because I waited till I was pointing right to that heading, activated approach, and as soon as I activated, I mean, the lights went nuts. LNAV went off. I mean, it just an easy connect.
Unstable.
And I don't go by that thing that first officer says about unstable. We're not unstable.
Down.
And remember, I had 1,000 feet set my altitude, and below that. So that also tells you that, okay, must be connected, right? Like, there's just these little things you know, a little bit more to say, okay, yeah, we're 138 knots. Right now at 500 feet, it says minus 671, but now that's going to change drastically on the actual landing, because it's going to flare, and then that's where you get your landing rate. We're at 300 feet. Hopefully the autopilot don't kick off. God knows it has in the past.
Minimums.
No, by now it shouldn't.
No, it shouldn't. But for some reason it has a few times.
50, 30, 20, 10.
Speed breakout. Reverse thrust.
There we go.
70 knots.
And I gotta figure out how to turn that off so it ain't so spammy when I land, because it'll sit there and do that red auto throttle whatever.
Yeah. I'll tell you how to do it when we get done.
Gold Star International 9er Delta Whiskey, welcome to New Orleans. Contact ground on 121.9er.
Switching to ground on 121.9er. Gold Star 9er Delta Whiskey.
Alright. We're at the gate. We got landed. That was a good...
New Orleans ground, Gold Star 9er Delta Whiskey, evening. We're clear of runway 29er and ready to taxi to the gate.
Gold Star 9er Delta Whiskey, New Orleans ground, taxi 204 via Echo, Golf 8, cross run.
So I went ahead and closed say intentions, because there ain't nothing more it needs to do. But I do gotta let first officer do its stuff here, so I can... I don't know if I have that turned on for auto submit or not. I need to go see, really. I don't think I do. Okay, I can't submit. Yep. It ain't ready. Which means it did the after
Did you
landing
turn your parking
flow.
brake on?
Yeah. But I think it's got to do the shutdown flow before it'll let me. I think.
Make sure your beacon light's turned off.
Let's see. Well, that should be my button for my beacon light on my yoke here, but it ain't saying nothing. Too bad I don't know the hotkey for the beacon light. Let's see.
Shutting the aircraft down.
Alright, we'll just do the shutdown flow and that'll put me where I need to be. I gotta wait for him to shut down or it ain't gonna let me. Flight recorder off. There we go. Yep. It reminded me now to do it and I just did it. Where's that setting at? I'll turn that on, then I don't even got to worry about it.
I don't remember where. Yeah, so you have to go to settings, but I don't remember where it is.
But it's under the settings on.
Flow
Okay.
completed. Shutdown checklist.
Yeah.
Fuel pumps. Off. Probe. Off. Hydraulic pumps. Sit.
Was that under
Flat.
dashboard?
Up. Parking brake.
No, you have to actually go to settings.
Oh, there it is. Settings.
Parking brake.
Country.
Parking brake. Parking brake. Parking brake. Parking brake.
Send brief alias. Notification for being completed. That's checked. There's a couple more check boxes, but I don't know what they are. They don't say what they are. They're not labeled.
Oh, jeez.
Parking brake. Parking brake.
Let me.
On. Fuel control.
Hold on, guys. I think I know what I can do here real quick.
Weather
Hold
radar.
on. Let's do
Weather
this.
radar. Off. Shutdown checklist completed.
I got a way to do it, I think, to know if it's checked or not. It says it's checked, but the only thing I got was a reminder to submit my flight. Hold on 1 second, guys. I apologize. Trying to fix something real quick.
Alright, here we go. If you... I can get you through it.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Right where the checkbox is for submit notification for completing... For submitting completed flight, that's checked already, but there's 2 checkboxes before that. It's right between start maximize, checkbox, and then notification for completing submitting flight, that's checked. But the other 2 are not. Because you got preferred region.
Alright, so here we go. When you are on preferred region.
Yep.
Alright. You have the next tab, auto submit flight report. Is
Okay.
the very next one after preferred region.
When I tab at the preferred region, it says start maximized. Oh, let me maximize mine. Hold on. That didn't make a difference.
No, so they're weird and funky. So, auto submit preferred region, auto submit flight, dark theme, start maximized, notification for submitting in the flight, some brief alias edit field.
Could I have
AP1 username?
At the region, I have start maximized, and then the next tab is a checkbox. Checkbox. Notification for...
They're not labeled.
No, so...
They're not labeled right.
What are them 2 checkboxes, I wonder? To know which one to check mark.
Okay, so... Yeah, no, so when you're on preferred region... So go to preferred region.
Yep.
Next tab is auto submit flight report.
So when I tab one more time at the preferred region, it says start maximize, checkbox not checked.
Yeah, no, you check that box. That is not start maximize. That is submit, auto submit flight.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I just did that. Okay. Okay, I checked it.
Then you have, then after that you have dark theme.
Which I guess makes it dark.
Yep.
Okay.
Then after that you have start maximized.
Yep, I want it maximized. Okay.
After that you have start notify me when I need to submit a flight.
That's the one it does read correctly.
Yep.
Then alias.
SimBrief edit field.
Yeah, this said.
Yeah, you have SimBrief edit field.
What is that for? SimBrief alias.
That's your username. Like what you put into, say, intentions for SimBrief.
Okay.
Then you have a Pilot's Life username, a Pilot's Life version 1 username.
Yeah, read
You
only.
don't care about.
Right, right.
Then there's a button that says set a Pilot's Life version 1 username.
Which I'm
you
not.
Don't care about.
Nope.
The next one is enable experimental beta versions.
Mine's not checked. Is yours?
No.
In a little bit, we're going to be doing another flight, which we're actually flying back to Cincinnati. So we had a good flight here. And the nice thing is, and Andy was talking about this before, it's nice to do the same flight more than once. Like, my job's making me go back to where I came from, then back here again. When I come back here again, I'm already going to know kind of where I'm at and what I'm doing. So it does make it nice. But other than that, I'm going to disconnect. Andy, you got anything you want to say before we go, or?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, you do. Anybody
What?
that is flying with TFM, you want to tell them about the voting?
Oh, yeah, just as a reminder to people that starting on March 8th, if you go to flightsimexpo.com, there's going to be a survey, a public community survey there. When you click on it, it's going to ask you to upvote the presenters that should appear in Flight Sim Expo this year. You can vote on any of the ones you want, but the one that I'm focusing on is upvote TFM, because the more votes it has, the more likely it will appear as a presenter this year.
Yeah. So make sure you go vote. Let's get TFM over to Expo. I'm probably going to be going with a friend of mine, so it'd be nice because I'll get to meet Andy.